Hello there, folks. My name is James Phoenix, and since this isn't a Lair of the Phoenix and there was not just a very catchy opening with lots of TV shows in it, it must be around the pound. This is, of course, our monthly video where the group of us get together to do some reviews. We've changed the format again because we do that. And so the new format for these around the pound videos, which we're going to release once a month-ish, will be each of us doing a mini review relevant to our pertinent topics of review. For example, mine would be television, Marcus Shadows, movies, etc. And so we'll each do a little mini review, and then at the end of once we've each done our mini review, there will be a discussion topic at the end of the video where we'll all just go in a round table and discuss a given topic of the month. So joining me for this video, as I already mentioned, from Showtime, Marcus Shadow.
It's showtime.
Indeed, he is here to show you the light. From the gaming zone and the comic zone, Chriz, aka the Mole.
Hello.
He's here to help you feel the momentum. And from the gaming grotto, Geeky Girl.
Hey there.
Proving once again that girls do exist on the internet.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Richter Hammer did want to join us from the Stay-at-Home Dad Gamer reviews, but unfortunately he's now only part-time stay-at-home dad gamer, so he has a part-time job and is there right now, so he could not be here.
He has a
Shout
job
out
that
to
actually makes
Hi,
more money.
Richter.
Hi, Baldy.
We enjoyed watching you dance with Marcus and lingerie on Raw.
Screw you, Mr. Phoenix.
Anyway, as I said, this is around the pound. Did we have a particular order we wanted to do our individual reviews in, or any volunteers to go first?
How about first bend up, then flex up, then fry?
No, do it in rank order.
All right, you
Okay, then first bend up, then flex up, then fry.
Well, I can go first then. Because our discussion topic, which we'll get to later in the review, is relevant to television, I will not be doing a mini Rise from the Airwaves review for this video. Instead, I will be going old school, and I will be mentioning Lair of the Phoenix, specifically yesterday's WWE pay-per-view, The Royal Rumble.
Yesterday is not that old school.
I mean, old school as in we haven't, old school as in it's a wrestling review that we don't do that often anymore.
I think the old school meant something in the 80s.
Yeah. Not necessarily. I mean, Undertaker still uses old school today.
Oh.
Thought that was going to get a fuck you for Mole. Okay, then. Moving along. Effectively, as I said, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was yesterday. We're filming this on Monday night. And interesting events happened. The Royal Rumble match itself, I will mention, not as good as in previous years. I hate to say. We did get a nice surprise second entrant of Chris Jericho, who's been gone for 6 months. That was always awesome. Everybody who watches our wrestling reviews knows I'm a Jerichoholic.
And not only was he surprise entrant, but he's back, baby!
Oh, yes. He's back, and he tore Dolph Ziggler apart on Raw, but that will be for a later discussion. Really, the major news from out of the Royal Rumble is that finally, The Rock is once again WWE champion. After first losing to CM Punk and then having the match restarted by Vince McMahon, instead of just stripping Punk of the title at The Rock's behest, the match was restarted, and The Rock then managed to hit the People's Elbow, the most electrifying move in all of entertainment, and defeat CM Punk for the title. Other news coming out of the Rumble pay-per-view is that the Divas title match that was scheduled for the pay-per-view got dropped for time, which sucked. We know that Antonio Cesaro retained his United States title against The Miz in the YouTube preview show. Alberto Del Rio defeated the Big Show in a last man standing match when Ricardo Rodriguez duct taped his feet to the rope so he could not get up to answer a call of 10. Because he likes to take a page out of the John Cena book of wrestling tactics. What else happened? We also had
Tag match.
Oh, the tag team champions, Team Hell No, retained their titles against Team Rhodes Scholars. That was an excellent match. And we also had what other matches did we have, Marcus? Was there anything else?
Intercontinental title match.
Did
Or did we not?
Wade Barrett defend the Intercontinental title?
I don't recall.
Yeah. All right. Well, at any rate, those are all good matches. Of course, the primary feature, aside from The Rock winning the title, which is a big deal, first time in 10 years he's been the champion, was the Royal Rumble match itself. In past years, there have been a lot of surprise entrants, and there were this year too, Chris Jericho being the primary. However, some of the others were a bit lackluster. The Godfather was a nice surprise, showed up with a couple of his hoes, and then got thrown directly over the rope, possibly beating Santino's record of a 1 second duration of entry in the Rumble, although that was not mentioned. We also had the annual Kofi Kingston does something crazy to not get eliminated, only to then promptly get eliminated for real. In this case, he was thrown off the apron, landed on the back of Tensai, who had previously been eliminated, then jumped on the announce table, then borrowed JBL's chair, assist to JBL, and pogo stick the chair over to the ring to get back in the ring, only to get promptly eliminated by Dolph Ziggler 2 seconds later. Which kind of sucked. Other surprise entrant included Goldust, which is great to see Goldust start up his feud with his brother Cody Rhodes. That was great to see. It was said that Goldust said he was not done with Cody, so hopefully that will develop into a feud. Goldust has been trying to get that going for months now. The rest of the entrants, essentially the expected entrants. The match came down at the end to, as pretty much expected, John Cena and Ryback. And after going back and forth for quite a while, the victor did end up being John Cena, which was unfortunately rather predictable.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he eliminated Ryback as the last person and successfully won the Royal Rumble. However, the Rumble also started up a couple of feuds. As I said, the Goldust Cody Rhodes feud, as well as the Wade Barrett feuding with NXT superstar Bo Dallas, who's apparently been brought up to the main roster. He won a match on NXT to earn himself a spot in the Rumble, and then appeared on Raw this evening in a match against Wade Barrett. So that's another feud that started up as well. Marcus commentary. What's that?
Jericho v. Ziggler is back.
Yeah, Jericho returning and resuming his feud with Dolph Ziggler, yes. Commentary on anything from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, Marcus? Mole?
Not really.
No, I think you covered it.
I don't like the fact that Cena won, but
Yeah, yes. How much time do I have left, Mole? I know you're timing these.
About a minute.
All right, well, I'll just say that overall, it was a lackluster Royal Rumble. The pay-per-view itself was good. The Punk vs. Rock match was good. The World Title match was entertaining. The Tag Team Title match was great. Some good entrance to the Rumble itself. The Rumble itself was a bit of a lackluster match, though, unfortunately. Tag Team Title match was good. Overall, a lot of great matches. Kind of sad the Divas got knocked off the card. And the Raw Rumble, couple of good surprise entrants, but overall quality, the Rumble was not as good as it's been in previous years, which is kind of a disappointment considering they're building up to this really big WrestleMania that they're really hyping up. So that was kind of a disappointment. And that's the Royal Rumble. That's the Lair of the Phoenix segment for this Around the Pound. So I'll turn this over to whichever of my co-reviewers would like to go next.
all right, I'll go next. So this is the Showtime segment, the movie review, and the movie that I'm going to be reviewing tonight, because I never got around to doing an actual video for it, is a little-known movie called The Seven Psychopaths, directed by a Martin McDonagh. And this is actually his second feature film that he's directed. And it has kind of that indie feel to it when you watch it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Starring in this movie, one Sam Rockwell, one Christopher Walken. You can't go wrong with Christopher Walken. And one Woody Harrelson. Again, you can't go wrong with Woody Harrelson. And the main star of the movie, Colin Farrell. Now you might be thinking, yeah, this is a Colin Farrell movie. Okay, he's going to be running around being the general Irish badass with the gun stuff. No, he's not. He is totally not a fighter in this movie. He actually had to act. And he did a damn good job, in my opinion. So yeah, I say give this a check. Check it out. I think it's coming out on DVD and Blu-ray pretty soon, if it's not already out. And I'm definitely going to be picking this up because I really, really did enjoy it. The story is really, really good, actually. And there's a lot of twists you just don't see coming, and who the 7 psychopaths are. Well, if you look at the DVD, it actually kind of shows them on the cover. But I saw this in theater, kind of actually previewing the theater, and of course I didn't know who the 7 psychopaths actually were. So when they started revealing them, I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!" So yeah, give it a once over. I think you'll really enjoy it, and especially since it's kind of a indie meets big budget film. It came out really, really well.
Aren't you gonna run? No. But I have a gun. So?
Exactly. I love Christopher Walken. No one does matter of fact like Christopher Walken.
Pretty much. Okay. If Marcus is done, who'd like to go next? Geeky Girl? Mole?
I'll go next.
Alrighty.
Well, this is the Gaming Grotto section, and I'm going to do a mini review of Professor Layton and the MiracleMask. You already know the past 3 games came out. This one is fairly close in quality to the last. I personally didn't find it as aesthetically pleasing with the 3D implement finally added to this, although it does have a 2D section, so that does it pretty well. But even the 2D section, the characters are still rendered in a 3D model, so the 2D isn't the cartoon anime 2D, it's still the 2D rendering of the 3D model, so it still misses a tiny bit of that. Gameplay wise, it's pretty solid and standard going. Clicking, pointing, everything does what it's supposed to do. Hint coins, mini puzzles. There's another thing. There's no puzzles that like, oh no, we have to catch the murderer. But this reminds me of a puzzle. It's not like one of those like out of the moment you're supposed to be doing something, but let's solve a puzzle anymore, which is really cool. Another thing is there's 150 puzzles plus the I think 20 or so downloadable ones you get once per day, which is pretty awesome. And I really like the puzzles, and they're a lot more relevant to the situation. Another thing I really love about it is that they have the mini games for this one. Although I still personally love the customize your room with what Professor Layton likes and Luke likes in the last one. They have this adorable one with a toy robot that goes on like a train or something, or you have to take it on a course and you have to block things, and that's really fun. And the other one, which is my favorite, but this could be possibly because I'm a girl, they have this bunny one where this bunny goes on plays and you have to give him the right facial cues or acting skills, and it's just really fun. I spent more time doing that than I did the rest of the game probably. But like for story wise, the story is kind of meh. I mean, it's really fun with the professor going back in time, and you get to see his like crazy afro and his relations with past people and explaining stuff. The overall story, I just don't feel it's as enticing as the last one. You just like don't care anymore because it doesn't introduce or keep any of the characters you loved anymore. It's all these new people, and you don't really feel for them. So it's kind of meh. Although I have to say the best part like of this Professor Layton game as with any other Professor Layton game would always be the screenshots of like little anime cutscenes. Those are like the freaking absolute best, and the voice acting again is spot on. Unfortunately, in this one, the voice acting isn't as prevalent as it was in the second game or third game. I don't know why that particularly is. But overall, I'd give this game a 7.0 out of 10, considering that the third game was like a 9.5 or so, because the third game was my favorite and it made me cry. So, yeah.
That's it for the gaming grotto. Let's move on to. Are we having a gaming zone or comic zone section of this?
I went with Gaming Zone.
Alrighty.
Yeah, basically, I really wanted to do this review, but due to time and due to a load of other reviews, I didn't get round to it. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. First up, as my normal presentation stuff goes, obviously presentation. The story is kind of clever. It's set in 2025 and swaps between 1980s and 2025, which in itself is cool because it gives you more weapons and shit that you're used to in the series from the 80s, but also new and futuristic shit when it comes to the 2025. The story also leads to multiple endings, thanks to choices and branching storylines. Example, if Mendez is dead, a YouTube video plays of Mendez recorded earlier, and it basically incites all the population to riot. That's fucking awesome. It does the job right. Unlike certain games with branching storylines. I love stuff like that, as I've mentioned in the past. It's easy to see a game like this does it right. The graphics look great, the sounds look great, and they complement each other well. So with that said, let's move on to, well, obviously gameplay. It's the same
Gameplay.
Yes, it's the same Call of Duty gameplay you were used to. But in a series like this, that's not always bad. The mechanics of the game are solid, the controls are great, the touchscreen is used very well on this. It's a map, but also your kill streak combo. Example, if you use the exploding RC car, you get to control it by looking at the screen, which is fun. I also realize I'm saying this really fast, but on a time limit. But yeah, example, exploding RC car, you get to control it with the Wiimote, you get to steer and shit. That's fun. However, if you don't like touchscreen stuff, you can also play it with the Pro Controller, and even set the controls to different ones. Example, a friend of mine who likes the 360 stuff actually set his one to the Pro Pad, and I believe he set it to Classic, and said it felt exactly like playing it on the 360. Hi, the Crispy. So overall, the gameplay is handled very well. And then, obviously, that leads us to extras. There's a lot of extras to talk about, but I'm going to keep it short for the purpose of this quick review. Zombie mode is back. Some people may not like it. It's changed dramatically. I didn't play much of this because, well, I didn't like the changes, but you may differ. The split screen is done brilliantly on this one. One player gets to use the TV, another one gets to use the gamepad, so no more screen peeking, which basically, that's almost like taking the best of split screen, the best of online, merging them together without hurting it, which is cool. Multiplayer, and you can also split screen online. Multiplayer itself also has loads of extras in there, like game cards, perks, and stuff to unlock. Which, that's basically, as anyone will tell you, it's very important because multiplayer is to Call of Duty what single player is to a game like Legend of Zelda. It's that important to the series. So that leaves final verdict. The Wii U version is great. A pro or con, depending on how you look at it, is the smaller online community. I like that. It meant that you were playing with less annoying kids who scream stuff at you. Because I hate that stuff when you're playing on the PS3 or 360. The Wii U version is also a little less supported, let's say, in terms of patching and stuff like that, but it's still really fun. I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10. Check it out today. See ya.
All right, thank you, Mo. So that concludes the mini review portion of this Around the Pound program. We will now move into the discussion portion of this Around the Pound, which this week happens to be a Rise from the Airwaves television theme. Will now rise from the ashes, don't come in for intentions. Alright, that's enough of that. Are you laughing at my singing, Geeky Girl? You got a problem?
No, I have no problem with it. I'm just saying your voice makes me giggle.
Not sure if that's a compliment or an insult.
It's when Mole says the word ghetto or yoo-hoo. It makes me laugh.
But never next to each other. I never once have referred to someone as like, yeah, I want to do you right in your ghetto, yoo-hoo.
Okay, then.
Well, that might go in the repertoire. But still, I'll say great reviews to the rest of you.
Yes, and to you as well. So, as we said, this is the Rise from the Airwaves segment, happens to be the discussion focus this week, and we're going to take a look at upcoming television programs for the year 2013. Specifically, we're all going to be, each of us will go in a round robin and discuss 2 shows that we're looking forward to in 2013. These can either be 2 new shows or 1 show that's new and 1 show that's recurring, etc., etc. Obviously, given that we're already at the end of January, some of the shows we're going to be discussing have already premiered. So those, you can kind of count those either way.
Now, we'll say 4 of us is more of a square than round, so it's more of a square, Robin.
Okay, then.
We're the knights at the square table?
We are. You have to be accurate. I mean, 4 of us, 4 points, it's a square, it's not a circle.
Can it be a square with rounded edges?
Or maybe it's a squared circle.
Ding, ding, ding.
The point is the rounded edges, so if you bump into them, you won't hurt yourself.
Anyway.
That was highly off topic. Anyway.
You're highly off topic.
Now I am the tag team champions.
I guess that's technically Rise from the Airwaves. That is technically a TV show.
And it also ties together with what Mr. Phoenix reviewed, which takes place in a squared circle.
Exactly. At any rate, yes, Rise of the Airwaves, we're going to talk about some of the upcoming shows that we're looking forward to. We each have two. I guess I'll go first again.
Mm-hmm.
The two shows I'm going to talk about, the first show I want to discuss here is a show entitled The King of the Nerds, which premiered a few weeks ago. It's on the TBS network. TBS, very funny. And essentially, this is a reality game type show all about nerds, which is awesome. And I will say that as soon as I saw the show, I said, "How is Geeky Girl not on this show?" Because even I confess, she's way more the nerd than me. She does the whole cosplay and everything. But
I am Queen of the Nerds.
I don't think anyone's a bigger nerd as you, Jim.
Well, no one looks like a bigger nerd than you.
I was complimenting you.
Fair enough. At any rate, as I was saying, we do have this show. It's on TBS. It's effectively, they start off with a group of contestants. I believe we started off with 10 of them. And each week they perform some different nerd-related competitions. For example, the most recent episode was episode 2, and that featured them having to create their own unique world with criteria they were provided. For example, one was they had to be heroes from a heroes from a fantasy or heroes from a sci-fi world and villains from a fantasy world, I believe. And they had to create their own world and then cosplay as characters from that world, and then present it to the guest judges. One of which was an expert cosplay designer who, again, I don't play enough Street Fighter to notice this, but whom I'm told was actually in an inaccurate Chun-Li costume. Is that correct, Mole?
I did link you to a Chun-Li picture. I don't know if that was her.
That was her. That was her. That was the judge on the show.
Then yes.
And she was wearing a Chun-Li costume.
Then yes, it was inaccurate.
I thought so. And she's a professional. She's a professional cosplay costume designer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I apologize for not having her name.
I wouldn't mind giving her an adorking.
Another guest was, I know someone from a show that a geek show that I don't watch. I don't remember who it was. I apologize. I know this is showing my lack of nerddom. I don't know who that guy was. I recognize the name in the show. I just can't remember it. And the third person on the panel in his captain's chair, George Takei.
Nice.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Don't do it. I do it better than you.
His Asianness trumps it.
Fair enough. At any rate, yeah, so they had a little costume. It was a really fun show. It's hosted by Curtis Armstrong, whom you may be familiar with.
Is he the guy that stretched really far?
No, that was Stretch Armstrong.
Oh.
His movie's currently in development. Stay tuned. He started off as Tom Cruise's best friend in Risky Business. He's done a ton of movies, a lot of TV shows. You might know him as a regular voice actor on American Dad as the voice of Steve's best friend Snot. He does a whole ton of stuff. He's also on Nickelodeon's Robot and Monster and the ever-irritated Dan in the Hub's Dan Versus. So he's done a whole ton of stuff. He's one of the hosts. Very awesome dude. Very nerdy dude. His co-host, someone else you might have heard of, is Robert Carradine.
Robert Carradine?
Robert Carradine. Let's see here. He is actually also the executive producer of the show. And you might also know him from being in the recently released Quentin Tarantino film Django Unchained. He was also seen in Jesse Stone with Tom Selleck for CBS. And he's done a lot of movies, all kinds of stuff. He's really well known for being Louis Skolnick in Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
Revenge of the Nerds was awesome.
Yeah, you might remember him, the character of Louis. No, nobody.
I just said yes, Revenge of the Nerds.
You remember him, but clearly the others don't, and that's why Okay, never mind. But yes, he's done quite a lot of different things. He was apparently played Hilary Duff's dad in the Lizzie McGuire show. I didn't know that. But at any rate, I'm getting him. So he's been in a lot of stuff, and they're great hosts. They really did a variety of different nerds in the contestants, which I really like. Just pretty fun. Like I said, one of them is one of them's a really smart, scientist dude. One of them is they've all got different qualifications. One of them's a Batman expert. One of them is
Hi, Marcus.
aha.
I'd like
Yeah,
to
one of
ask,
them
how
is-
was the King of Spades not on the King of Nerds?
I don't know.
Because a nerd is not a spade.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
well, you are.
I can
We've also got as I said, the girl who's obsessed with Batman to the point that she fell in love with her husband at first sight because he looked like Batman.
Hey, hey.
That's impossible. No one can look exactly like Batman. There's been multiple versions of him.
Is he as rich as Batman?
I would hope so. We got a guy that's a scientific researcher.
Just like Batman, does he also enjoy sliding or having boys slide up and down his pole?
Oh. We have a guy that's a game developer whose hobbies include gaming, zombies, fire dancing, and leatherwork.
Okay.
We've got this other girl here who controls transit of terrestrial and extraterrestrial microorganisms to and from solar bodies, which is rather interesting. She loves space and went to college at the age of 16.
And she's probably totally going to geek out when George Takei walks out.
Oh yeah, we got a guy who hosts a live interactive geek debate show.
Why does she geek out at George Takei? Who cares about the guy from Heroes? What does that have to do with space?
Oh. We got a guy who loves math and theoretical physics. He's obsessed with Taco Bell and enjoys gangster rap, disco, and punk music.
Hi, QJ.
I'm both turned on and turned off.
And then we got the girl who's a fanatic about attending conventions, and she also loves Batman as well as princess characters, but most importantly, she's quite the flirt.
I'm not on there.
I know.
Hi,
You should be.
Simon.
Oh!
But I'm ching. At any rate, there's a lot of great characters. The show airs, if you're on our side of the pond here in America, it airs Thursday nights at 10/9 Central on TBS. I encourage you to check it out. Great show. It's awesome. I'm gonna be watching it regularly now, to the point that I'm gonna watch this instead of our version of Sherlock because I'd rather watch this.
Your version of Sherlock sucks balls.
The only good Sherlock is the Sherlock that's actually called Sherlock.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's not true. Robert Downey Jr. is a decent Sherlock.
He's okay, but he's more actiony than actual mystery solver.
Yeah, he's more Batman than Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he is more Batman.
Technically, isn't he more Iron Man?
No, he's more Batman.
Okay. But anyway, that's a great show. The other show I really want to talk about here is not out yet, not even close to being out yet, but this is just some huge TV-related news that is hopefully something will be forthcoming before the end of the year. At the very least, maybe we'll see a pilot. Show of Cyberhands. Who here's a fan of Boy Meets World?
None of us are on cam.
That's why I said show of Cyberhands.
Cyberhands, sort of, like, I kind of watched it, and it was interesting sometimes.
Okay. Marcus Small? Okay.
Look below.
Yes, I saw it. Excellent. Okay,
That's a Cyberhand.
Yes, excellent. So, there is Boy Meets World, of course, was the great show from back during the late 90s that starred Ben Savage as Corey Matthews, an average everyday kid going through school and just living life, and hilarious sitcom things ensued. Of course, the show being most famous for the zany things that happened. His brother Eric, played by... Oh, I know that actor's name. Somebody help me here. Actor that played Eric's.
Come on, hurry up, Phoenix. Phoenix!
There it is. That had to be there. Come on. The dude that played Eric. Somebody help me here.
Oh.
You should have done your research, librarian.
Yeah.
I got all the names of people that are actually in the series. I wasn't counting on referencing people that were not, directly in this series. At any rate, his zany brother Eric, who you might also know as more recently playing the voice of Ron Stoppable on the Kim Possible show on the Disney Channel, as well as tons of other stuff.
I love Ron Stoppable.
Yeah, that's him. He's awesome. And, of course, Feeny. Of course, the great William Daniels, I believe his name is, as Mr. Feeney. Just overall a great show. It was on TGIF for the longest time, a staple of it. To this day, I can't watch the finale without crying.
I have to say, hang on, is he dead?
No,
I thought he was still alive because you said the late.
I didn't say the late.
Oh, I thought you said the late. Never mind.
No. I said the great.
Okay.
No, he's still around. He shows up every now and then. He voiced the Kit Car at David Hasselhoff's roast a year ago or so.
Yes, he did. That's why I was thinking, oh, did he die since then? I didn't realize, but never mind.
No, he's around. I'm hoping he shows up in the show, but at any rate, the point I'm getting to with this whole deal is that it's been the decision was made by Disney, who the original show was on ABC, so they do own the rights to the show, that the show should come back. This time it's going to be Girl Meets World. The story is going to focus on the daughter of the returning Ben Savage and Danielle Fisher as Corey and Topanga, and it's going to focus on the character of their daughter. The character, what is it here? What's the character name? What's the character's name here? Thought it was in here somewhere. Son of a bitch. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I've got two different pages up here. The character Riley Matthews, their daughter, aged 13, and basically focus on her the way the original show focused on Corey. They've also announced that additional characters are going to include a Maya Nolostame, who will be Riley's Sean-esque BFF. And it also reveals that the Matthews also have a 14-year-old son named Elliot, who will, of course, be Riley's older brother, and that the Maya character will be dark and edgy. And they also noted that Corey Matthews is going to be a history teacher at the school that Riley and Maya attend, and presumably that Elliot attends as well, and then he'll be kind of keeping an eye on them as the story progresses. So evidently he's the new Feeney.
I really hope for that. I really hope for that show. They just record the old theme song again, so then just change the words. So it's like when this girl meets world.
I agree. It was a great theme song. But the show is currently they just recently, like literally this day that we're recording this, announced the casting of 11-year-old Rowan Blanchard, who will play the 13-year-old Riley Matthews. And they're still in the process of casting for the other new characters. But now that they've got this set, they're hoping to, I guess maybe they do have casting finished. They're hoping to record the pilot next month in February 2013. And then hopefully the show will be on the Disney Channel's 2013 to 2014 schedule. So hopefully the show will premiere in the fall. Because to everybody, it's almost a foregone conclusion that this is going to get picked up. So this should be great. I look forward to it. I watched Boy Meets World on and off. I did enjoy the show when I watched it. I didn't watch it religiously like a lot of people. But it was a great show. And whether you watch it religiously or not, I don't know about you, but I cannot watch the finale to that show without crying. It's a great emotional finale, the way it goes back to the beginning, talks to heartstrings. Great finale.
I can't, but again, I'm a man.
I can.
Fuck you!
But I'm not as much of a girl as you, so.
Ouch. You hurt my feelings.
I can't wear a nice short skirt like you do, James.
Oh. In the time I've met you, I've never known you to wear a skirt, period, so okay.
I'm wearing skirts at work, shows how much you pay attention.
You're probably more than when I'm not there.
The
only time I've ever seen you in a skirt is a picture of you dressed as Yuna.
Shows how much you pay attention. Asexual.
Anyway.
Funny. At any rate, that's my section of this little review here.
Next month, may we review her various skirts.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do that.
I'll model them all for you. There you go.
Excellent. So yes, check out King of the Nerds Thursdays, 10/9 Central, TBS, very funny. Check out Girl Meets World, hopefully premiering sometime in fall of 2013. Keep an eye on the internet for news. That's my segment. I turn it over to whoever would like to go next.
I'll go next. We'll keep it in the same order, I suppose. First one I'll go with, just to kind of get out of the way, and it's going to be a little quick thing. I suppose the second one is Power Rangers Megaforce. As those who are regular viewers of us may or may not know, we all met through Power Rangers. We are all Power Rangers fans, and therefore we are, in fact, kind of, sort of looking forward to Megaforce. We're hoping Saban doesn't screw this up. And personally, I'm hoping Saban can manage to do the one thing the Super Sentai couldn't do with this particular series, and that's make the Rangers likable.
On a related note, if you'd like to discuss it with us, go check us out over on www.rangervision.com. Follow us on Twitter at RangerVision or on Facebook at facebook.com/RangerVision.
Indeed.
Oh,
Or
that sounded like
to our YouTube channel, where we probably will be discussing this stuff at a later date.
That as well. So go head on to YouTube, search The Ranger Vision. The first Ranger Vision podcast is available, starring three of the people in it. Actually, all four of the people in this review. It's actually this exact group plus one other person. So there you go.
This is true. But yeah,
And for sexy pictures of James Phoenix in a morph suit, go over to craigslist.com/rangervision.
I approve.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I want to see what they do with it. They've already made one improvement, and that is shrinking the damn morpher. Because, yeah, the Goseiger morpher, the Tensoder, in my opinion, was too damn big. They've already...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, it still looks pretty freaking huge compared to most of the previous morphers.
It does, but... Yeah, so we'll see. It is the anniversary season. It's going to be split into 2 seasons, just like Samurai was, as that's my understanding of it. And for the second, quote, season, unquote, or the second half of the series, they're supposed to be returning cast members, returning Rangers from other seasons coming back. So I look forward to seeing that.
Indeed, we do have to be wary, though, because, as we said, the adaptation of the first season of Megaforce is an adaptation of Goseiger, whereas the second season is an adaptation of Sentai Gokaiger. We do have to be wary, though, as unfortunately history has shown that anniversary seasons tend to be the ones that people remember as being the worst seasons.
Yep. Especially when it's supposed to be the adaptation of Gokaiger with the Goseigers as the primary Rangers. How the hell does that work?
It works with Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, somehow they will make it effective. As Marcus mentioned, there are supposed to be hopefully a lot of former Ranger actors returning to reprise their roles for an episode here or there during the course of the second season of Megaforce. And they're also trying to really harken back to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with this season, where giant head dude on a wall and his robot assistant summoned 5 teenagers to battle the alien forces of evil.
Sort of.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So do check that out. Like I said, if you go over to rangevision.com and check out our Megaforce thread, there are promo videos, details on the cast and crew, details on the characters, the Zords, episode listings, air dates, more. Check it out.
Mark just makes the obvious joke. I have to. Marcus, quick! It looks like someone's stealing your spotlight.
Don't make me show you the light, Mr. Phoenix.
You can show me the light all you want, but I'll just rise from the ashes.
Not if I get the ever digging to bury your ass.
What was that?
So not if I get the ever digging to bury your ass.
Uh-huh.
And then Geeky Girl will prove you were a girl on the internet.
The fuck?
You have to see him in the miniskirt to tell.
Oh.
Sadly, I have.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest section of this podcast, the roast of James Phoenix.
Evidently, what the fuck?
He's coming out to get the price.
James Phoenix walks out of the closet.
All right, that's enough of that. Move on to your next show, Marcus.
Oh, that was great. Very good, Mole. Very good. So yeah, the other TV show, the only other one that actually looked appealing to me. Yes, I did look at the debuting in 2013 list on Wikipedia. And that show would be a show coming out on ABC on February 14th called 0 Hour. Now, I'm going to tell you all...
Say, really, Marcus, Wikipedia? How can you read anything off that dribble site? I mean, there's no guarantee of accuracy. Half of it's crap. Come on.
You read it all the time. Please.
That's the joke.
Yes, I'm going to gym you all, and I'm actually going to read the little synopsis off the actual site because, well, that's really the only information we have.
Lazy bastard. You lazy bastard! I didn't even do that.
I was gonna do that.
0 Hour, a fast-paced adventure that will take you around the globe to unlock one of mankind's most riveting conspiracies, one that powerful forces have kept hidden for too long. And that actually sounds pretty damned awesome. What's even more awesome? The guy who's starring as the main character in this TV series goes by the name of Anthony Edwards. Yes, the same Anthony Edwards that starred in ER, back when it was good.
Indeed.
Starring alongside the likes of Eric LaSalle, another actor that I really, really like. And, of course, Mr.
Wasn't he
Sexy
also on
himself.
ER? Wasn't Eric LaSalle also on ER?
That's what I said.
No.
No, I'm talking about ER.
Oh.
Wasn't George Clooney one of the greatest Batmen of all time also on that?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Mr. Sexy himself, George Clooney. It's the show that made him famous. But yeah, that's back when ER was good.
Did
After
he have Doctor Nipples?
no.
Wasn't then pre-Full House star John Stamos also on ER?
Yes.
I was way back when, but yes. But yeah, after they killed Anthony Edwards and drove Eric LaSalle out of the hospital, that show became kind of shit.
Tell that to Noah Wiley. That's basically his entire career.
Yep. But yes, starring alongside Anthony Edwards in 0 Hour, the only name I kind of recognized was one Michael Nyqvist. And he was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo back in 2009, and he was in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
And in case you're wondering, yes, he's the bad guy.
Yes, in both of them.
Was that the
Pretty much.
American?
I
girl with
also
the dragon
mean in. Sorry, go ahead, Mo.
I just asked, was that the American girl with the dragon tattoo?
No.
The Swedish one?
Yep, because he was in all of them. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the girl who played with fire, and the girl
Gotcha.
who kicked the hornet's nest.
Ah, cool.
Okay, and I actually meant in this new show he plays the bad guy.
Ah, fair enough.
He plays the character's name is White Vincent. I'm just, if I can interject, I'm also looking forward to this show greatly. It's one of the few shows I'm looking forward to this year. Effectively, the plot of the show is that the main character, played by
Anthony Edwards.
obviously Anthony Edwards, is essentially he is a guy that solves mysteries for a living. He does a lot of he researches things. He debunks historical stuff for a living. And one day, his wife, who runs a clock shop, mysteriously gets kidnapped and disappears. And then he finds a treasure map in one of her clocks, and he goes on a worldwide quest to find out what it's all about, get his wife back, and stop the map from falling into the hands of the forces of evil, because what it reveals could change the foundation of society as we know it. Or, if you prefer a more simple description, it's basically a combination of any given Nicolas Cage movie and any given Harrison Ford movie.
How do you talk so much during other people's reviews or shows?
I was going to say, he's Tom Hanks from the Da Vinci Code?
Pretty much, yes. This is pretty much the
conspiracy
TV
theories
version of
plus
the.
Anthony Edwards. That's gold in my book, and that's what I'm looking for.
This is number one. It's pretty much the TV series, The Da Vinci Code, and number two, given someone else who's very big on these kind of mysteries and hosts his own show about them, I find it highly suspicious that they make the main character Anthony Edwards, who looks an incredible amount like Brad Meltzer.
Good point.
I was going to say it's clearly like a mystery with like a magical map. It's Dora.
Dr. the Explorer. Sorry.
Swiping. Oh, man. Dora the Explorer coming to theaters soon.
But yeah,
if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, look up the awesome Dora the Explorer fake movie trailer.
There you go. But yeah, that's the other one I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, go ahead, Geeky Girl.
All right. Well, one series I'm looking forward to would be The Americans. It's the newest spy Russian flick. I'm going to not read the exact guide, but because Jeff already did that, but I'm going to give you pretty much synopsis of what it says.
His name is Marcus.
He was a showgirl.
No.
Anyway.
No, I wasn't. Shut up, Mom. As much as I like Barry Manilow, no.
Oh, anyway. So, it stars Philip Rise and, Kiri Russell. I don't really know Philip Rise that much. He was in Tintin. And Kiri, though, she was the voice of Wonder Woman in the Wonder Woman original series, so that's pretty cool. I watched the whole thing. People aren't really popular with Wonder Woman, but if you've seen it, it's awesome. Check it out.
Kerry Russell.
Great voiceover work. Yeah, Kerry Russell's awesome.
I was
So
half
anyway,
expecting
two are
James.
gonna be. Sorry, what?
I was
Have
just
expected me to what?
I was half expecting James to key up with Wonder Woman.
I was gonna say, technically speaking, wasn't she not the voice, just actual character of Wonder Woman? Because was that not a live action show?
No, the cartoon one.
She had her own cartoon show?
Yeah, the
I
original.
did not know that.
IMDb it. Anyway.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so basically they're husband wife, nuclear family, like little like suburban area, like everything's normal, but the husband and wife, Philip and can't say her name, Kiri, they're actually Russian spies, secretly undercover, like doing KGB stuff. So they're gonna like pretend to have like normal American jobs. And I always love spy stuff and undercover, and it's supposed to be like this sitcoms kind of style, possibly. And yeah, I don't really know much about it more than that, so it's gonna be really interesting. So for there is a show, another one that I'm looking forward to recurring is Merlin, and I know everybody already knows what that is because I've been following it pretty closely. And pretty much Merlin has been took a pretty predictable course of action. Shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan, more shit hits the fan, and it's just pretty much been a giant beatdown on Merlin and the entire kingdom. It's just they've taken like the turn that Harry Potter took since the third movie. Everything, people will die, people will fall, and I finally found out why. What?
Said Merlin proves that he's not a great wizard.
That is true.
And does that mean Merlin does not? Does that mean Merlin does not unlock the ability of the Gandalf save?
He does not unlock the ability of the Gandalf.
He unlocked the ability of the Gandalf fail.
Well, in all fairness, a lot of the episodes are like, well, magic can't do this, but science can do this. And other episodes is science can't do this, time to turn to magic. So, but anyway, like Morgana, oh my god, ever since she turned evil, I just want to fucking kill that bitch. Sorry. But like she's been like the worst thing is she's a betrayer, like, you know, like she's like they were friends, you know. Her servant girls was her friend Guinevere was they were so close and everything was good, and so many times has she turned to the Uther Pendragon, played by Anthony Head, who is my absolute favorite. Oh my god, I cyber stalk him. Is like she apologized to him, they make it up, she gets better, backstabs him, makes it up, apology, it's better, backstabs. I'm like, oh, and this is the ending season, so this is when everything's gonna like come together and like fucking gonna die. I hope. I'm sorry again. I really hate her.
Shit's about to get real.
This is an adult review show. You can swear as much as you want.
Goddamn motherfucking bitch. I hate her. I want her to fucking die, and I want to rip her freaking guts out and rip her across and want them to hang inside the freaking things of Camelot so people can throw eggs at them. I mean, I really hate her so much.
Then she's doing her job, and the writers are doing their job.
Yes, they are doing their job, but I also hate them because I feel like I want to cry for Uther and Pendragon and Anthony Head because they go through so much pain trusting but knowing someone you love, and like they keep fucking stabbing you in the back. And
I will say, be prepared to be a little disappointed by the ending. I'm not going to say what happens. I don't like to give away spoilers, but be prepared to be a little disappointed.
Anyway.
So basically, in summary, you feel about her the way Marcus Shadow feels about online video game targeting.
I think I still hate her more. I kind of want to shove her own parts of her into multiple black holes. Anyway.
So you feel more like James Phoenix does about charisma?
Ouch. Or you feel more like Chriz The Mole does about talent?
When you look this good and you're this charismatic, you don't need talent.
Really? You have charisma, huh? You might want to try using some of that in the gaming zone sometime.
Hey Jim, all the energy you use to force your asexuality, that's how much I hate her.
Good comeback, I like that.
Anyway, I'm just really looking forward to her hopefully dying and everything's reclaiming the kingdom. And I know like the freaking Anthony Head is probably gonna have to his character's gonna probably die, and then he's gonna be the Arthur's gonna be the king forever and stuff, and I don't want to see him die, but it's probably gonna happen, and I just I don't want to see Anthony Head die, but I do want to see like Merlin be the full-fledged wizard and possibly maybe throw in a Gandalf save or two.
Mm.
And Arthur finally realizes like that he's been a twat, and he comes out and be an awesome, wholesome king, and then he makes babies with Guinevere. So that's kind of what I want to see.
Excalibur,
I feel like
be my strength.
there you go.
So-
If you like Merlin, I recall several years back, around 2000ish, I think, there was a very awesomely made Merlin miniseries that aired on I want to say NBC in multi-parts over the course of a week. That was also pretty
Same
epic.
actor?
What's that?
It's not the same actor though.
No. I'm just saying it's a great series. If you're a fan of the Camelot story, it's a great
That
series.
actor is really goddamn hot. Like holy shit.
Yeah, but you need to bear in mind, James, this Merlin is basically taking the Arthur legend and turning it into Smallville. So it bears as much resemblance to actual Merlin as be like saying, oh, if you like Smallville, check out Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah,
But see, I actually read like the stuff about the real actual Merlin as a kid in book series that turns into the legit Merlin, and Merlin as in the Disney Merlin. But this Merlin is kind of like teenage high school Merlin, and this is the closest he's gonna get to like.
gotcha.
Exactly, like I said, they totally Smallvilled it. It felt like Smallville, even to the point where the people who created it have had to acknowledge, yeah, okay, it's kind of Smallville.
There you go.
Yeah.
And apparently, if you like Smallville, don't ask CW to do one about a woman.
True. So anyway,
They've passed on the series Amazon that's supposed to be a Smallville of Wonder Woman.
No. As I mentioned earlier, they
Yeah.
haven't passed on it. They've rolled it on to next year to review it, but continue.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was just gonna say that's pretty much like I'm just really looking forward to when the resolution Arthur rising up, and hopefully Uther somehow not dying yet, Arthur's still becoming the king. That would make me very happy. Making babies with Guinevere, that's pretty much, I just want to see it. Yep. Can't wait to watch it.
He is a great actor.
I'll admit that was a fun series.
It looks
I'm
good.
sorry for swearing so much. I just really hate her.
Hey, that's fine. Trust me. There's been much worse rants on things than these reviews. I assure you.
I kind of swear like a sailor, so.
Yeah. Well, it happens. Trust me. There's like I said, there's been worse rants about different things on these reviews, so it's not new. But with that said, does anybody have any final comments for anything in this review?
I'd like to mention my TV shows.
Oh, you did a New Year's list? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mole.
You're gymming him now. No, we're done.
Yes, he's gymming me during the live recording, which before we recorded, he said he never does.
I did not gym you to live recording. I'm sorry. I thought everybody went. I apologize because I thought I do apologize.
It's cool. My one, I'm not going to talk too long. My one, the new one is Under the Dome, which basically, as you're probably going to figure out by the time I finish saying it, a dome is placed over a city. Insert Simpsons did it from South Park. But yeah, it's basically a dome over like a town and stuff, and people having to survive. It's a Stephen King miniseries. I didn't even bother looking up who stars in this. They're based on Stephen King miniseries. They're probably going to be unknowns or smaller roles. It's a Stephen King miniseries. Only good things can come from this, except for the ending. Well, we all know Stephen King sucks at ending, but the journey is fun. But still, it looks fun. It sounds like an intriguing story about them trying to survive inside this dome and try and get their way out of it and stuff. Looks fun.
All the good Stephen King stuff has no ending.
Yep. My returning show, which every nerd on the internet who's anyone has to have seen this show, Arrested Development is back. That's right, we're finally reunited with the Blue family. Thanks to Netflix as well, which that's awesome as well. That's like every nerd everywhere seems to love Arrested Development. All the nerds love Netflix. You put the two together, instant success. And this miniseries has been made, like I said, reuniting us with the Blue family, ready to hype up for the Arrested Development movie, which is currently being made due to how popular the TV show became after it got cancelled. Because it got cancelled because no one was watching it. Then after it got cancelled, people kept checking it out, checking it out, checking it out. Even I'll admit, I checked it out. after it originally aired, because I was like, okay, everyone's talking about this show, and go and watch this show, and then I'm like, holy crap, this show's fucking awesome. This show is awesome. I love that show. And then it's like, yes, I want to see more of this. Wait, it was already cancelled? No, I want to see more. And then they announced that they're bringing it back. It's like, hell yeah.
Why can't we do the same thing to Firefly?
They brought it back for a film. Sadly, that's not enough.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Aw.
That was not enough. TV shows we need to return. Firefly, Buffy, Angel.
Mm.
Well, not sure about the last two, but definitely, Firefly.
All right then. I will mention while I checked in, you are correct. Under the Dome is starring a bunch of nobodies.
Ha!
I was like, that's normally the case, because as the Stephen King miniseries tend to be with like some of them, like I actually kind of like the Shining miniseries more than the film. But yeah, basically he tends to go with unknown. So while you're watching it for the miniseries, it's not for the films. For the miniseries, so it's like, yeah, okay, this isn't such and such. It's like, okay, this is the character, which that works. It's like Superman, as a rule, tends to be unknowns when people cast him for the same reason, which I like that.
That's true. That's true. All right. As I was saying before, and I do again apologize. Are there any final comments on anything from the review?
Jim, count 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Speaking of a show involving no one, I will admit, yes, I am also excited for Megaforce.
Fair enough.
Also, because you decided not to mention it during your list, Jim, I would like to honorable mention Revolution, because while I did not finish watching the entire first season, what I saw of it I did like, and yeah, I'm excited to see more.
As one who did finish watching the entire first season, I do say it ended on a real cliffhanger note at the fall finale, and I do look forward to it returning in March. That's going to be awesome. I'm also going to throw out an honorable mention to Person of Interest. It's a great show. It's on CBS. They're in the middle of their second season. It's going strong. They said it was the best drama pilot CBS has had in 15 years. Their words, not mine.
You should review that.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm working on it. I have the opening written. I'm getting there. I want this to be a good review. I want to honor the show properly.
If you want it to be a
With
good
that-
review, get us to do it.
Ouch.
No,
But at any rate, fuck you. At any rate, this has been Around the Pound. As I said, we'll be doing these videos hopefully monthly or monthly-ish to do a little mini recaps for things that we don't necessarily have time to do full recaps of, and also to just have a little discussion topic for the month. We will see you for next month's video, which will hopefully also feature Richter Hammer. And
So what
Yes,
you're
Paul?
saying is a certain time every month, Geeky Girl will suddenly be swearing and being more aggressive.
No, I'm gonna be pleasant the next one, because I won't be thinking about things that I hate. I'll be nice. I'll be good the next one.
At any rate, yes. Hopefully Richter Hammer will be here with us for the next one, and possibly some of our other reviewers. Unfortunately, I don't think Aeon will be able to join us, as he's having some delays in getting his show up and running. But he will join us for some of these once it's up and running. Perhaps
Hi,
the Fallen
Aeon.
Hi, Aeon. Yes, perhaps the Fallen Angel. Who knows? And thank you for checking us out here at the Around the Pound monthly mashup video. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me, Geeky Girl of the Gaming Grotto,
Thank you.
and Chriz The Mole, Gaming Zone, Comic Zone. Check that stuff out. Lots of awesome Gaming Zone reviews coming up. Would you like to hype those, Mole?
No, but I do have a few coming up.
Yeah, some good stuff. Do check those out. Marcus Shadow of Showtime. What I don't know what films you're reviewing coming up. I know you had a list as well.
Well, there is an Aliens retrospective coming up where Chriz the Mole and I will be reviewing Aliens, and Prometheus, which will lead up eventually to a Gaming Zone review of Aliens Colonial Marines
For Wii U.
for Wii U.
Excellent.
All right, since you jimmed me, I'm going to say that I'm going to do a not Left 4 Dead, Walking Dead CD disc review coming up soon. Why you should get the CD version? It'll be awesome.
You should always get the CD version of a game like that. That's why I bought the CD version of the Back to the Future game.
Yep.
Anyway, yes, I
Technically,
do
none of them are
apologize.
CD. They're all DVD or Blu-ray.
Well, you know what we mean.
I'm a nerd. I have to correct technology.
You do. At any
The
rate,
king of the nerds.
yes. Revenge of the Nerds. No. Yes, I apologize for jimming you there, Stacey. I wasn't sure what if you had more reviews planned out already or not, so I didn't. That's why I didn't ask. I apologize. Of course, I'll be on Rise from the Airwaves. Person of interest, it's forthcoming. I have the intro written. I'm working on it. It'll be up soon. I'm also hoping to do a review of the 90s PBS show Ghost Rider. Those of you who grew up in the 90s, 80s, 90s might remember that show. Great show. I'm going to look at that. I'm also, hopefully, at some point there will be another look at Revolution. Once it resumes and we finish off the first season, there will be a retrospective of that coming up at some point as well. Do check that out. And there might be some Lair of the Phoenix videos coming up. We'll talk about a little wrestling here and there. We'll see where that goes. I don't think we had anything specific planned, but you never know.
WrestleMania.
Well, WrestleMania is definitely coming up come March, but there might be something before that. We shall see. Do check out any upcoming game reviews from the stay-at-home dad gamer Richter Hammer over there. Aeon show's coming soon. Maybe some others. Overall, just stay tuned to the X-Pound, xpound.proboards.com. Follow us on Twitter at the X-Pound. YouTube. Search the X-Pound. We'll pop right up. Thank you to everybody for joining.
You mentioned WrestleMania. If I may, I have the perfect tagline for this year's WrestleMania. Welcome to WrestleMania, twice in a lifetime.
Yeah. No, you didn't come up with that. The internet came up with that a long time ago.
I have a better one. WrestleMania. I have a better one. WrestleMania. Troll face Marcus.
Yes. Troll face,
Effectively.
you can't see me.
I could make a bunch of those and be mean-spirited, but I won't.
And depending on whether or not Ryback ends up going against Undertaker, it could also be Troll face Mole, because Ryback would likely kill the guy. And I don't mean that in story-wise. I mean literally.
He'll watch a move and snap his neck or something. Yes.
Yeah, which that would be a tragedy.
Yes, that would be very.
WrestleMania, when soap operas need more action.
Yeah, pretty much. So thank you everybody for joining me. This has been Around the Pound. Like I said, check out all our X-Pound videos. If you want to learn more about Power Rangers Megaforce or talk to us about the Power Rangers, www.rangevision.com. We're there. Check out our podcast on YouTube at The Range Vision. Thank you, everybody. I'm James Phoenix. We'll see you next time when Geeky Girl proves that girls still exist on the internet. The Mole helps us feel the momentum. Marcus Shadow shows us the light. And I rise from the airwaves and the ashes. Good night, everybody.
You will now rise from the airwaves.
Stash,
Leader of the X-Pound.